just to buy some time for Reed in the bullpen.
2 outs here in the 6th inning. Runners at first and second, and Glenn Myers, batting at .383, steps in now against Roy Trumbo.
I'm sure they were probably going over how they want to pitch Myers too. He's an excellent hitter. Good look at him.
1 ball and no strikes the count. Myers with 4 homers and 28 RBIs on the season. He's batted 6 times thus far against the Wildcats this season. Has 1 hit. He's 1 for 6 in the previous 2 games. Big guy, 6 feet, 180 pounds.
Rob, that walk to Opal was the first walk that the Kentucky pitchers have allowed. And now Trumbo down 2-0 in the count is in danger of possibly issuing another walk.
Kentucky leading Louisville 2-1 as the Cardinals bat with runners at first and second and 2 outs here in the 6th. And the ball hit well to center field. Backing up, though, Andy Mccord, and he camps under it and makes the play. So Trumbo gets out of trouble here in the 6th. Cardinals with runners at first and second with 2 outs. But the pinch hitter, Glenn Myers, retired on the fly ball to center. We played 5.5 innings, and Kentucky leads the Louisville Cardinals by a score of 2-1. We'll be right back. Now, welcome back to Shively Field in Lexington. We're heading now to the bottom half of the 6th inning, and you see the score there. Kentucky leading the Louisville Cardinals 2-1. As the Wildcats come calling here in the 5th, and we've got a new pitcher on the mound, Tom. Sean Freibert, sophomore out of Louisville, went to Trinity High School, coming into work now for Louisville.
And Myers stayed in left field. Again, there's Freibert. 2-2 record, 17 strikeouts. Rather hefty ERA there, 7.12.
As you mentioned, Glenn Myers has now gone out into left field in place of Sean Harkins. And the change in right field. Haggorn, right. He has gone into right field in place of Keith Dillon. So 3 changes now for Louisville as Kentucky comes up here in the 6th. And Combs is leading it off. Chris Combs stepping in. Sophomore out of Decatur, Tennessee. 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike now.
Good pitch by Freibert. It looks like he has pretty good, pretty live arm. Pretty good movement on his pitches. Comes right at you.
1-1, down low and inside, and it's 2-1.
Showed him a breaking pitch there, so Combs is seeing the whole repertoire right off the bat. It's a fastball away.
0 for 1 on the night. And he takes this pitch on the outside corner. That's a strike.
Exactly where Scott Klein wanted it. Maybe a little lower, but the location, he certainly wanted it away. It's what he called for, and Freibert delivered. I like that when you're a catcher, that kind of control.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Freibert working quickly here in the 6th inning. And the ball hit sharply right back up the middle into center field. That's a base hit. First hit of the night for Chris Combs as he grounds it right back through the box into center field.
It's the 3rd straight inning, Rob, that Kentucky's had the leadoff hitter on. Really haven't taken advantage of their scoring opportunities, and part of that, of course, is a tribute to Thompson, when he was the pitcher who was in, he did a great job of getting out of trouble. Let's see if Fribert can do the same thing.
Pookie Jones stepping in now. Pookie 0 for 2 on the night. Grounded out to second base back in the second and then popped out to first in the fourth. And the pitch to the Wildcat right fielder is inside. A little tight, 1-0.
A lot of things Keith Madison can do here. Combs has good speed. He can start him in a straight steal, maybe hit and run.
Wildcats with the leadoff man on base. Chris Combs here to start off the sixth inning, and a throw over to keep him close. He's back safely.
Rob, here are the final numbers on Thompson. 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, both were earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Did a good job for Louisville.
Another throw over to first there, but Combs is back. And Pookie Jones now momentarily stepping out and getting a sign from John Butler down in the third base coaching box.
Good lead by Chris Combs. He's gone.
Well, Combs sliding in safely at second. That's a stolen base.
Yeah, he had too big a lead. Fribert didn't do a good enough job holding him on, and Klein really didn't have much of a chance there. That was a steal off the pitcher.
Well, I have that as the second stolen base on the season for Chris Combs. He has only made 2 attempts. He's been safe both times, and he moves now down into scoring position. Pitch was a ball. It's 2-0 now to Pookie Jones as he steps back in, and he's ready. And Fribert out of the stretch position. Here's the 2-0. 2-1 now.
Well, Pookie sort of indicated he was going to bunt there, and that was strictly one of those situations where you're trying to fool the defense, because he was going to hit all the way there and pull back and foul it off. He's going to try to hit the ball on the right side of the diamond right now, advance the runner to third, get him in a position where he can score on a fly ball.
Now, what a week Pookie had last week. 9 of 18, had a grand slam against Austin Peay, 2 triples, 10 RBIs, got hits in key situations, and this a key situation right here as he hits it foul out of play to the right side. Count even at 2-2.
A couple of weeks ago, Rob, he was really in a slump, struggling at the plate, but you can just tell the way he's much more confident. You can just tell when players are in a groove, when they feel good about themselves, and obviously he does.
Combs out at second, nobody out in the inning. Here's the 2-2 from Fribert. And again hit foul. Now, Tom, from what I was told, Pookie Jones worked with Coach John Butler just on getting the bats on the baseball, just with making good contact.
Yeah, a lot of these Kentucky hitters are very young, and Pookie included. He hasn't played that much baseball the last couple of years, and they have a tendency to be a little over-anxious at the plate, go after bad pitches, especially bad breaking balls outside the strike zone. And Coach Butler just trying to get Pookie to put the bat on the ball, at least put it in play, make them get you out. Don't strike out.
Jones steps back in, and we're ready. 2-2, hit foul again, back on the screen.
And again, a good piece of hitting. The last 2 pitches that Fribert has made have been excellent pitches. And probably maybe a week, 10 days ago, Jones would have gone down on strikes with one of those 2 pitches. Now he's fighting them off. That's just confidence. That's concentration, focus.
Well, no question that Pookie has struck out too many times this season. He has struck out 45 times in 122 at-bats. That leads the club. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And strike 3 call. As Pookie goes down for the 46th time this season and vents a little bit of frustration there.
Well, Rob, I don't know if we'll get a replay on that one or not, but that's the kind of pitch right there that sends a lot of good hitters back to the dugout. A great breaking pitch that just froze Pookie in his tracks. And here it is. Now watch Pookie. The timing, he was just fooled completely by that pitch. An excellent pitch by Fribert. That's what separates. That's why a lot of guys don't make the big leagues.
Now the hitter now, Adam Shadburn. He takes a ball outside, 1-0. 1 out in the inning. Combs still out at second base. That's a big run as Fribert turns around, fakes the throw back to second. You can see the Cardinal shortstop there, Tommy Barnes, cheating in behind Chris Combs. Fribert out of the stretch position. Here's the 1-0. And the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Kentucky leading 2-1. Wildcats batting with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. And I cannot begin to tell you what a big run that could be out there at second base right now.
Yeah, late innings, boy. The more you can get, the better off you are.
1-1 pitch. Popped up left side. Barnes going out. The left fielder Myers coming in, and Myers, who just came into the ball game after pinch hitting last inning, puts it away. So 2 down now, and it will be up to Andy Mccord to see if he can get Combs home from second base. 2 outs now as Mccord steps in. Mccord to the single to right field back in the 3rd, then struck out in the 4th. He's 1 for 2.
Tell you, Rob, you look at these Louisville pitchers today, and you wonder, why they don't have a better record, because they've both been excellent, and they've had good backing in the field. They've made excellent pitches. They've made their pitch location has been superb.
Been a well-played ball game. Kentucky has committed a couple errors. Louisville 1, and of course the 1 error on the Wildcats, the error on Shadburn, was costly. 2 balls and no strikes now to Andy Mccord. Freshman out of Lexington Lafayette, hitting at .345 coming in tonight.
2-0 count, runner on second. You know he's going to be looking probably 1 pitch, 1 spot. He's just going to really lace into this one.
And Fribert now steps off the rubber.
Great shot right there. He wants a breaking pitch, away.
Here's the 2-0.
He got a fastball.
Popped up left side, and it's going to be Tommy Barnes, the shortstop, out in short left, and then Myers calls him off and makes the play.
Well,
Myers.
Myers did the right thing there, Robbie. He was coming in, had the easier play, waved him off.
All right, we've played now through 6 full innings. Wildcats go out in the 6th, but they lead Louisville by a score of 2-1. We'll be right back. We're heading now to the 7th inning at Shively Field in Lexington. Louisville trailing the Kentucky Wildcats by a score of 2-1, and it'll be the bottom 3rd of the order for the Cardinals. Jason Michalakis, Scott Klein, and John Cuss to face that man, Troy Trumbo. Now, Trumbo has been in some jams here over the last 2 innings, Tom, but he's worked out of it.
Yeah, both pitchers on both staffs have.
Ball hit through the hole on the left side into short left field. That's a base hit. Michalakis, after striking out twice, has his first hit of the evening. So the Cardinals with the leadoff man on, and that, of course, is the potential tying run.
Well, that was just a bad pitch, Rob. It was up too high, and there wasn't much on it. Just a pitch that begged to be hit.
Going to bring up the catcher, Scott Klein.
Well, we'll see how Coach Becker wants to play it, whether he wants to bunt, sacrifice a runner, stay out of a double play situation, or whether he wants to hit.
Pitch way high, a ball, 1-0. Now you saw there a moment ago what Klein has done tonight. He's got the 2 doubles. Doubled to left center back in the 3rd, and doubled to center field in the 5th inning. And he is the man who has scored the only run for the Cardinals so far tonight, and now manager Keith Madison heading out to the mound, and it looks like he's going to make a move.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a Reed coming in, be my guess. Yeah, that's him. You're going to see a pitcher come in now whose pitches have a lot of movement on them. Not overpowering, but a lot of movement.
Now, Brian Reed, junior out of Lexington, Kentucky, went to Henry Clay High School, has a 3-1 record, 2 saves, a .309 earned run average. And we've got a break in the action here in Lexington. We're going to continue along in just a minute. A pitching change for the Kentucky Wildcats here in the 7th, with Kentucky leading Louisville 2-1. And with nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning, a pitching change for the Wildcats. Kentucky starting tonight with Lauren Frazier, then it was Troy Trumbo. And now, Tom, right-hander Brian Reed has come on.
Yeah, Brian Reed comes into the game, Rob, and he leads the nation, Division I colleges, in strikeouts per 9 innings. 13.4. He has 66 strikeouts in 45 2/3 innings pitched. So he knows how to get hitters out, and he knows how to make them take that long walk back to the dugout. There's a good look at him.
And it just so happens, Tom, that he has worked in both the previous 2 games this season against Louisville, 2 2/3 innings. He's given up no runs, 1 hit, and has struck out 5.
A couple of weeks ago, he's the UK pitcher who took a line drive right off the chest, and very scary moment, and missed 3 or 4 games. Really fortunate that he's back and healthy, that he wasn't hurt more seriously. It's a very scary situation.
Well, stepping in for the Cardinals, catcher Scott Klein now. Louisville with the leadoff man on. That's Jason Michalakis down at first, had the leadoff single, and now Klein coming in with nobody out here in the 7th inning to face Brian Reed.
He inherits a 1-ball, no strike count from Troy Trumbo.
And the count even now. 1 ball and 1 strike to Scott Klein. Klein doubled back in the 3rd, had another double in the 5th inning, has scored the Cardinals' only run here this evening. 2 for 2 on the night. That pitch a little bit outside, and it goes to 2-1.
Breaking ball. Obviously, he's showing a lot of respect for Klein. Klein's, as you said, Rob's had a big day today. And with guys 2 for 2 like this, you don't want him to be the guy to hurt you.
2-1 pitch. Hit foul, and the count even at 2-2. So Brian Reed has come on to try to protect this 1-run Kentucky lead here in the 7th inning. Quite a story, really, behind Reed, Tom. He was cut at one time at Henry Clay, walked on at UK, and has just developed into an outstanding pitcher. Not an overpowering fastball, has a big tail to it. Breaking ball really breaks. Fouled at home plate, and the count's still at 2-2.
That was an excellent piece of hitting there by Klein. He just fought that pitch off. Managed to make contact. He's checking with the umpire also to find out if it was a strike in the strike zone or not.
Klein, a transfer from Northern Iowa University. Had to sit out the 1991 season at Louisville after shoulder surgery. Ball hit back up the middle. Played by Michael, and the throw back to first. That's a double play.
Excellent play by Michael. It looked like for a moment there was a little indecision whether he wanted to take it himself or flip to Eddie Brooks. He absolutely did the right thing by taking the play himself. He's having some problems with his throw to first, but that was an excellent dig at first by Matt Braga. Watch him. Brooks, there's a little momentary hesitation there, but he did the right thing. The fewer times you can throw that ball around, the better off you are. And again, a good dig by Matt Braga.
And that's the first double play that the Wildcats have turned tonight. Louisville was able to turn one earlier on a fly ball, but that's the first one for Kentucky, and it comes in a key situation with nobody out here in the 7th. The Cardinals with the leadoff man on, and the base is now empty for John Cuss. Pitch outside, the count even at 1-1.
Rob, you'd have to feel that Keith Madison would be pretty pleased with Troy Trumbo's performance. 2 innings, 3 hits, gave up no runs. He is responsible. There's a foul ball. Nice play by the first base coach. Good hands.
1-2 now.
1 walk and 3 strikeouts for Trumbo. So I'm sure Keith Madison very pleased with his youngster.
Brian Reed at one time this season struck out 9 batters in a row. That was back on March 20th in a game against Notre Dame. He's walked only 12 hitters all year. Keith Madison on the Kentucky bench with John Butler just in front of him. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Cuss, and that's strike 3 call. Well, you talk about doing the job. Brian Reed comes in, gets a ground ball for a double play, and then strikes out Cuss to end the inning.
I would think, Rob, that Cuss's last name is probably what he's wanting to do to the umpire right now.
All right, we've played through 6.5 innings now. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Kentucky leading Louisville 2-1. We'll be right back.
There's the tools of the trade, Rob.
There they are, right there. That's all you need. One of the first things you get.
Well, I had all that stuff, and I couldn't play anywhere. So you have to have some talent along the way.
You sure do. Gloves have changed a lot down through the years, haven't they?
They
Boy,
sure have.
I can remember a couple that I had. The things that they have in this game today. Now for the Wildcats here in the 7th, it'll be Jeff Michael, Matt Braga, and Billy Thompson. Kentucky leading Louisville 2-1 as the Wildcats come plateward in the bottom of the 7th. And you can see that Jeff Michael, 2 for 3 on the night, had that triple in the first, a double in the 5th. Also flied out to deep center field back in the 3rd inning. And the pitch, a ball 1-0.
Rob, it's been a strange season for Kentucky, especially in SEC play. They can't win at home. They win on the road, and you have to wonder why that is. And I think one of the things that Coach Madison has really focused on, and that's the word, is he's tried to get his team to focus more at home. He thinks they don't focus quite as well at home maybe as they do on the road, and that's one of the things he's really keying on, and that's why they're playing a lot better right now.
1-1 pitch, hit sharply into right field, and Jeff Michael has his 3rd hit of the evening. He's 3 for 4.
Rob, he's just a good hitter, and he's going to get a lot of hits and make a lot of pitchers look bad. He's been doing that for a long time. Superb baseball player. There's Fribert. And again, Kentucky has the leadoff hitter on.
Michael at first base for Matt Braga. Braga had that sacrifice fly and an RBI in the 1st, then reached on the interference call on the Louisville catcher Scott Klein in the 3rd. He walked in the 5th inning.
Well, they're going to show Michael a lot of respect, Rob. He's stolen 23 bases in 28 attempts, so you're just not going to be surprised to see him take off. And he's got an awfully big lead over there.
Fribert now working out of the stretch position and quickly throws back over to first, and he's back in safely.
A lot of respect for his speed, his base stealing ability.
And in a 2-1 ball game, anyone can understand what one more run would mean in this situation.
Fribert's aware of that. That's why he's going to hold him close.
Another throw over to first.
4 straight throws, so going to wear him out if nothing else, make him get his uniform dirty.
Well, now Braga steps out at home plate. Matt Braga, a player who saw just limited action last season. He saw action as a backup catcher, also worked as a designated hitter. He can catch, play first base, and play in the outfield. Ball 1-0.
The one thing Fribert doesn't want to do is to concentrate so much on the base runner that he falls behind and puts himself into a bad situation with Braga.
Michael with another good lead off first. There's a strike on the outside corner, and the count even at 1-1.
Third base coach John Butler ran through a series of signs there. May have all been a decoy. Oh, he had him leaning, but Michael was able to get back in time. Probably along with pitching and catching, Rob, being a great base stealer, a Maury Wills, a Lou Brock, that's probably the other thing that gives more wear and tear on the body. There he goes. He's got it easily.
Braga swings and misses, and Michael has another steal.
He almost had a walking lead there, Rob. Fribert didn't do a good job of checking.
24th steal and 29 attempts on the season thus far for Jeff Michael, and as you said, Tom, he had it all the way.
Yeah, and the throw was on the left field side of the base, so wasn't even.
1-2 pitch, hit to left field. Myers is right there. He makes the play, and there will be no advance by Michael. 1 down.
But once again, the Louisville pitchers, in this case, Fribert makes an excellent pitch and gets one of the 3 outs that he's got to have to get out of this inning. Louisville pitchers, you can't say enough about them. They've done a superb job. This is a Kentucky team that's really playing well, and Louisville, the Louisville pitchers have done a good job against them. Here's Fribert.
1 out, and the batter-catcher, Billy Thompson. Fribert checks the runner at second. Michael, here's the pitch. And a strike call. Thompson tonight grounded out to second in the first, fly to right in the third inning, and then was hit by a pitch in the fifth. Officially, he's 0 for 2.
Well, right fielder Haggorn is really playing Thompson deep. He's almost on the warning track. That's too deep in my opinion. A right-handed hitter like Thompson, he's not going to hit the ball to right field that far.
Here's the 0-1 delivery. And hit right back up the middle and stabbed. And they'll get another double play. Second one tonight for the Louisville Cardinals as John Cuss, the second baseman, snared that line drive. And you can see the disappointment on the face of Billy Thompson. Let's pause now for all of our local affiliates on Sports Channel. We played 7 innings at Shively Field in Lexington with our score, Kentucky 2, Louisville 1. We're heading now to the 8th inning of play with the Kentucky Wildcats leading Louisville 2-1. We take a look at that last play that ended the 7th inning for Kentucky, and look at Cuss stab this line drive.
Well, Thompson hit it right on the nose, and not much the base runner could do. He's going to take off on that one instinctively on the easy double play. That ball was almost hit by the pitcher and the umpire both had to get out of that line drive, get out of the way of that line drive. There's Billy Thompson.
Kentucky had Jeff Michael at second with only 1 out. But the line drive by Thompson snared the double play at second base, and the inning quickly over. Louisville comes up in the 8th, and it's number 4, Tommy Barnes, to lead it off against Brian Reed.
Reed trying to save this one for Troy Trumbo, who right now is the pitcher of record. And there's Reed. Started off with a breaking pitch that got the best of Tommy Barnes.
0-1 pitch, way outside, and the count even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Barnes grounded out to short in the first, reached on an error in the third, and then had a single back in the 5th inning. That was the play in which Scott Klein, the catcher, was thrown out at home plate trying to tie the ball game. That ended the inning. Low and away, and it's 2-1.
Well, the last thing that Reed wants to do is let this guy get on base to start an inning off, because there's so many things, so many ways Tommy Barnes can hurt you.
And this pitch is outside, so it's now gone to 3-1 to Tommy Barnes, All-Metro and All-Metro tournament shortstop last season for Louisville. This fellow ranked 3rd in the NCAA last year in hits with 99. He batted .378 last season. That's a strike, and the count now is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Barnes had a 25-game hitting streak last year.
Big pitch coming up here, Rob. Barnes would love to get on base any way he can. Reed trying to keep him off.
And the ball hit sharply to Michael at short. Long throw in time, and there's 1 away. So Barnes grounds out to Michael at short. That's 1 down, and Joe Haggorn will step in. We'll get another look at it.
Nice play by Michael. He's had some trouble on throws to first, but that's probably the toughest throw he's had all day, and it's the best throw he's made all day. So came through in the clutch.
Joe Haggorn now, who pinch hit for Keith Dillon back in the 6th inning and flied out to center field. His second at bat tonight, he's 0 for 1. And there's a strike on the outside corner.
Nice pitch. Fastball low and away. A lot of heat on that pitch.
Reed working quickly. And this pitch down low bounces away from Billy Thompson, and it's a 1-1 count.
Rob, the lights are on now, but you know, the way this game's moved along, they can almost possibly get this thing in without the need of the lights.
Yeah, just about. It has been an ideal evening. Temperature dropping down into the 60s. Not a lot of wind. Matter of fact, through the ball game now, the wind has really died down. Haggorn with a big swing and a miss, and the count now 1-2.
The flag in center field is just limp. There's no wind right now at all down on the field.
1 out, bases empty. 1-2 pitch to Joe Haggorn, and hit on the ground to second. Eddie Brooks is right there. He makes the play. Over to Matt Braga, and there's 2 out. Quickly, 2 up, 2 down here in the 8th inning.
Pretty nice play by Brooks. The ball sort of an in-between hop when it got to him, and that's the kind of play that can cause trouble. He did a good job. He smothered it, and there was no problem for him. Both teams have played well in the field.
So with 2 outs now, Tucker Howard comes up to face Brian Reed. Howard 0 for 3 on the night. Ball 1 popped up to a short back in the first, fouled out to the catcher in the third, and then reached on the air by the shortstop Jeff Michael in the 6th inning. 1-0 pitch. That's low, and it's 2-0.
Well, Howard has now exactly what he wants. I mean, he's going to be thinking home run right now until he gets a couple of strikes on him, and he's ahead 2-0 in the count. Let's see if Reed goes with the fastball or sticks with something breaking.
That pitch low and away, and the count now 3-0. Well, Howard has hit 6 homers on the year. He has 22 RBIs.
A 3-0, you would think he would be taking, but you know, you just never know.
There's a strike, and it's 3-1.
Well, Reed didn't take any chances. He didn't just throw a strike up there. That ball had some movement on it, and he went for the outer half of the plate. Didn't give in to him.
2 outs, bases empty, and the 3-1 pitch to Tucker Howard. That's a strike call, and quickly now it's 3-2.
Well, you saw the way Howard ducked away from that one. That's your classic curveball right there.
Reed pitches,
Hello.
and it's hit deep to left field. Way back, and she's gone. Well, Mr. Wallace, what were you talking about a moment ago?
Well, the one thing Brian Reed wanted to do was keep it in the park. And the one thing that Tucker Howard wanted to do was make it exit the park. And he did just that. He got every bit of that. A clutch home run.
Tucker Howard with his 7th home run of the season, his 23rd RBI, and a big one it is because it ties this ball game 2-2.
Well, that's just power right there. You see the look on his face. He got all of it. There you see Combs going back. There's just so much real estate, and you run out of it.
Yeah, that ball looked like it might hit the top of the wall, but not quite. It had just enough to get over. 2-2 ball game now here in the 8th inning as we start all over again. Hitter Charlie Allen. He swings and misses.
Well, we may need those lights after all, Rob. They get overtime in this one.
I'll tell you, this has been a good one. Kentucky had the early lead. Louisville came back, tied it up. Wildcats got a run across in the 5th inning to take a 2-1 lead, but now Louisville has come back to tie it up on the home run by Tucker Howard. And the count 1-2 now to Charlie Allen. Now, what a big swing with 2 outs and the bases empty here in the 8th. Ball hit foul outside of third. And the count holds at 1-2.
Well, I'm sure Kentucky, Keith Madison's going to look at this thing regardless of how the game turns out, and he's going to see that 4 straight innings he had the leadoff man on and didn't get much out of it. And, of course, Coach Baker over at Louisville, he's going to look at it and say, hey, our pitchers did a great job for us. That's been the case.
1-2 pitch. Up high, and it's even now at 2-2. Coming up for the Wildcats in the bottom of the 8th, it'll be Hindersman, Brooks, and Chris Combs. But we're all tied now, 2-2. Well, that pitch just outside. Full count, 3-2.
Billy Thompson appealed that one to the first base out, but that was clearly a good call. It was a ball. He didn't go around.
Allen 0 for 3, still looking for his first hit, and he may have it there. Deep left center field, way back. and off the base of the wall. Charlie Allen around second, and he'll hold right there with a stand-up double. So with 2 outs, nobody on, the Cardinals strike here in the 8th inning. A home run by Tucker Howard and a double by Charlie Allen. And now Louisville has the go-ahead run in scoring position.
Here's the replay. Went down and got it, hit it to the gap. He almost got that one out of here. Almost had a 3-2 game. Coach Baker said the Louisville bats have been coming alive lately, and they certainly have this inning. Keith Madison out on the mound. And
well, here in the 8th inning against Brian Reed, they have really turned it around. And right now you can see a little bit of stalling going on right now as there is activity down in the Kentucky bullpen. I think Paul Morse is ready, though. He has stopped throwing, and now he is coming on in relief of Brian Reed. It will be Paul Morse. So we have another pitching change here in Lexington with our game now tied here in the 8th inning. We'll be right back. Kentucky 2, Louisville 2. Back in Lexington, Kentucky, we've got a new pitcher who has come on for the Kentucky Wildcats, Paul Morse. Earned run average of .511. He has won 4 and lost 2. Has 5 saves on the season. In 37 innings of work, he has given up 36 hits. He has walked 19 and struck out 37 and has given up 5 home runs.
Another Danville native, and when you watch him pitch, he'll very much like Troy Trumbo. He'll come straight over the top. I don't know if that's just a coincidence or if there's someone over there teaching those kids and they're coming up, that's the way to pitch, but they're both very much overhanded pitchers. He'll throw a curveball that, if it's on, will drop straight down, a la the Sandy Koufax type curveball. He'll also throw a slider and a fastball. Another pitcher who has to hit his spots.
Darren Opel, the batter, officially 0 for 2 on the night with a walk. Charlie Allen representing the go-ahead run out at second base. Louisville's tied it up here in the 8th. And this ball looped out into short left field. That may drop. It does. And here comes Allen around third. He'll score the go-ahead run on the single by Darren Opel. Well, the last 2 balls, Tom, were hit hard. That one was not,
right,
but it gets the job done.
Well placed. Opel did not wait to check out and see what Morse had. It was first ball hitting. And that's a good thing to do. When a new pitcher comes in, a lot of times he's just going to concern himself with throwing a fastball strike on the first pitch, which is what Morse did. Opel didn't hit it hard, but he hit it exactly where, in between everyone, and it's a key RBI single. Clutch hitting.
Louisville now with the lead, 3-2, as Morse works to Glenn Myers, and the big man swings and misses strike 1. Myers, you'll recall, came into the ball game back in the 6th inning, I believe it was, when he pinch hit for Sean Harkins and flied out to left field.
Of course, that run will be held against Brian Reed.
Ball hit on the ground to Brooks at second. He plays it on a couple of hops and throws out Myers easily, but the damage is done. With 2 outs and the base is empty here in the 8th, the Louisville Cardinals strike for 2 runs and they take the lead. Louisville goes on top for the first time tonight. We've played through 7.5 innings. It's Louisville 3, Kentucky 2. We're heading now to the bottom half of the 8th inning, and the Louisville Cardinals are on top for the first time this evening as they have taken a 3-2 lead, scoring twice in the 8th. And for the Wildcats, in the bottom half of the inning, it'll be Brad Hindersman, Eddie Brooks, and Chris Combs to come to the plate. Freibert.
Well, it's his game to win now.
And like, you know, the other Louisville pitchers that we have seen tonight here, Tom, as you have mentioned, they have done the job. Wildcats have had numerous scoring opportunities throughout the evening. Had the leadoff hitter on base on a number of occasions, but just have not been able to capitalize. Here's Hindersman to lead it off. 1 for 2 on the night. He singled in the 4th. 1 ball and no strikes to the Wildcat designated hitter, the junior out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Fellow who played at Cincinnati Moeller High School and won the Ohio State Championship up there back in 1989.
There's a school with a great sports tradition.
Oh, indeed. Ball hit sharply, foul down the right field line. One ball and one strike. Louisville, with a win tonight, would pick up only its 15th win of the season. The Cardinals coming in here tonight with a mark of 14-27, just 2-10 in Metro play. Ball chopped foul again down the right side, and it's 1-2.
Rob, Kentucky's left 7 men on base this inning in this game, and that's again also there was a couple double plays. We erased some men who were out there. So Kentucky's had the base runners, had the opportunities. They just haven't come through when they needed to.
Hindersman now is ready as he steps back in. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's a little bit outside, and it's even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Eddie Brooks waiting on deck. Chris Combs will follow him. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Wildcats here in the bottom of the 8th inning as time is now beginning to run short. Time called as Hindersman now steps back out.
Not surprisingly, Rob, the Louisville defense plays this guy very deep, especially in right field.
Ball hit well to center field. Charlie Allen going back, and it's gone. But just like that, with one swing of the bat, Brad Hindersman ties it up. You know, Tom, when that ball left the bat, I did not think it was that well hit, but it really carried a ton.
It looked like he hit it off the end of the bat, but there is no wind. He didn't get any help from anything. That was just, he had the power to get it out. Let's check it out.
Now, Hindersman really stepping into it and getting a good cut. And the center fielder, Charlie Allen, going back there at the warning track, but nothing he could do but watch it head on out of the ballpark. Eddie Brooks steps in now. Tied up 3-3 as Hindersman homers for the 5th time on the season. He has his 36th RBI. And this ball hit sharply but foul down the left field line.
I don't think Brooks has hit one any way other than hard today. And I don't think he's hit one that hasn't pulled. He's been way out in front.
Eddie Brooks, the Kentucky second baseman, swings, chops it right in front of the plate, and Klein is going to throw him out at first base. That's the first out of the inning. To score that one 2-3, 1 down. And Chris Combs will step in. Combs grounded out unassisted to first base. Back in the 2nd, had a sacrifice bunt in the 4th, and then singled to center in the 6th as we get another look at that ball.
That's a strikeout there. Ball's in the dirt. I think Brooks just had his mind made up before that pitch he was going to swing, and he couldn't hold up. He had it thrown out.
And Combs swings and misses now at the first pitch. A strike on him. It's 0-1. This ball hit on the ground to the right side of the infield. Gloved nicely by the first baseman, Tucker Howard, and he makes the play. And give Freibert credit for getting over and being right there. Well executed, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, it's done exactly like they draw it up in the book and teach it. Here's the play. You have a very fast runner, so Freibert's got to get there in a hurry. And he'll go straight at the base, and he'll run parallel, touch the inside of the base with his foot, take the throw. An excellent throw by Tucker Howard. perfectly executed.
Pookie Jones with 2 outs.
Ooh.
Hits it right back over the mound. Gloved nicely there by Koss, and he makes the play at first base. That ball was hit a ton. Koss was right there to backhand it, and he made the play across the diamond to Tucker Howard to get the out.